Under no circumstances can we disrespect a decision of a court, properly constituted. We as lawyers, in as much as we disagree with the final outcome of the court, we respect it. But our resentment, our disagreement stems from the fact that, one, some of the charges are born, especially look at count one, say assignment of mineral rights without authorization. We can never agree with the decision of the court as far as the court founding the conviction on the lack of evidence on the part of the prosecution as far as that charge was concerned. And we have fair instructions say you proceed to the appellate court. Leonard Chinia Tachia M17 notice party a press conference, a direct legal directorate, and the legal team say you put our thoughts together and all the documents together. Now you move to the appellate court. The GDA say sebi atimwa even sentencing na enyina so enim. Although say judge and as a court to me because random man who can say offenses in that nature minimum sentence should be 15 years, maximum sentence should be 25 years, But even convicting and sentencing a person, even if arguably granted Aguendo say Yajitum Puse and pass a paper or a first time offender. A first time offender, and Brand say first time offender should be handed a minimum sentence. Said the or very fun because we know them that you're finding court to that, you're born to do that, in jail in that. And this are not a man 20 years, not the minimum sentence. Now we can best describe it as being harsh and excessive. Being harsh and excessive.
Okay. Now, I have listened to a lot of lawyers, comment on this particular 59-page judgment and indeed, most of the lawyers are not helping Wontumi in terms of the cases in a course. I have even read from our own friend, I've forgotten his name right now, but watch all Facebook says can say even when they picked on the first lawyer, he knew say Adenokrano and said that years I've forgotten his name. I don't know about Richard. But let's move on with that. But clearly, when you hear such comments coming from your fellow lawyers making that argument that you did not, or the lawyers seemed not to, and also went to me more to me in the case now, do you share the same thing or you disagree?
Conclusively, I can say lawyers are more era Wontumi na meaning says I nipa na or your lawyer nipa. The makers are say and some lawyer need me come to that conclusion, or the record of proceedings of the trial, right from the first arraignment that I did to me court first day, see a judgment to me judgment decision of the court because decision of the court once the court is making a decision court be reference an aspect of the record of proceedings now free say best support to the decision and or the ama but what they make and the entire proceedings will give you a fair account of the industry that the lawyers on record demonstrate as far as the handling or the prosecution of the case
okay.
How can one tell me say over 59 pages no how can me say lawyers are more day? It's clearly disingenuous. And yet, Papa Nicolas is also. Many person may comment on the standing of some of these lawyers passing this erroneous comment about lawyers handle Wontumi a case.
Exactly.
Look at the standing of lawyer and the Apia Kubi. The man diligently performed his task. We have even in the law practice, there will be more a lion. There will be more or a sheep or a boko. Nelson said, "Oh, my penny could for car, I say, you share and funny panel. You will be on more a sheep or that boko as you be, not the official and none inside a kawaii the Why are we going on appeal? If say lawyers are more there, then you can't fault the judge. You can only go on appeal when the evidence on record does not support the conviction and sentencing. You can only go on appeal when there is a miscarriage of justice. You can only go on appeal when there is a clear error of law apparent on the face of the record. And indeed, there is, or there are.
Okay.
Indeed, there are.
Okay.
What you are attaching here? Even preliminary crana, you put and together. We have identified over 20 grounds of appeal. Grounds. And yet the general grounds of appeal are they be on the canvas. These are clear, germane 20 grounds of appeal. If you didn't ever move, you can say lawyer or handle case from the one now born home day. Ye best. So we a lawyer ni now kasa free sebio from the legal perspective. And you know what legal perspective etie. So obe analyze juma a lawyer no a year from the word go. Ababesi the time juma ni see ya judge and then the conclusion and now then the ruling on the judgment ever. Okay, questions via a judge no reference here in the judgment now 59-page judgment now. Respectfully to my lady, Yewra and the appeal could be Ebisa Ura Henry Okuma. Was it Iroku? No, Iroku, Joseph Iroku, our Minerals Commission lawyer.
Yeah.
Question. Because assignment once a month. There's a procedure upon which right. Seeking authorization from the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources. And the procedure is that so person was signing or mineral rights at the say Kesben Media. Over Trocrata, over your deed of assignment, which is an instrument of conveyance. Now why your site plan saying and your concession now they friend say, what they Kesben Media. Obey your site plan of the area, no block out na person no. Now the application actually so now why your instrument of conveyance was signing that part to Kesben Media. Now your instrument of conveyance, that is the deed of assignment. I'm signing. I go through the processes, through Lands Commission in the then you take it to the Minerals Commission for onward recommendation and say or make transmitted the common minister for natural lands and natural resources. For the minister to signify his assent or otherwise to the proposed assignment, It's here and the appeal could be bizarre. Joseph Iroku, our Minerals Commission lawyer, under cross-examination, say, I contact mining. At this proposal, no emission hormone. Was it there? Was there any attempt by anybody? So, or this way, or person was signing mineral right and there is nothing on record. BBS info. Minia. Or charge you before assignment of mineral rights without authorization. It means that the person attempted say or this document because assignment Nakasa is defined by law. The Lands Act of 2020 Act 1036 it defining assignment to be a written instrument and yet oral instrument, written instrument. It's assignment Nakasa no it has a definition in law. Say a written instrument of conveyance. So once a written instrument, or the secretary by and a ministry engine to move, and I who say Nipa proposes or this or assign a right na man no. I could not assign so a year Juma to be able to construe say ampa who make keep proposal no ye ma wanu yi and I am peneso and still who go ahead and you have assigned without lawful authorization and no better to live before it was adian no obisa that question she say a course or say a reasoning respectfully to my lady Eka say once obisa that question it means say a admission on the part of the defense say assignment procedure no. But right from day one, anybody denies or assigning mineral rights. Or assigning mineral rights. How then can you conclude, say, based on questions that Obisa Minerals Commission say, may the proposal we have Bamoho, ma make any attempt and now also there be, then a judge can construe that to mean say a admission say one ticket steps, one yet the embryonic say on yeno. Is it assigning mineral rights?
Is it not maybe coming from the angle where respectfully to Judge so Fanefi, where he was asking Henry in the issue of the doing the your friend is say reclamation, or where I mean your reclamation as against what I have not given you any credible letter or probably permit reclamation or assassin so. Yes, sir.
If not on that score, you see, once it does not border on extraction of mineral. You know, Minjin this so obikura ekusine dine, right? Not a dine na okakusino. No project we ana me ya na ihia say o say me clearing na assassin so. Me the machine eco clear assassin so. And baby o hono so kra na o say o de can say what the material from different sides, ebana be fele baby, and what in yard chrono. Do you need any approval from any state agency before you can clear your land for that purpose? Okoye fua, unya so kwa permit from government and so akwakoye fu nana. Every citizen of Ghana, our surface rights as far as the lands of Ghana are concerned. Everything will be a to baby didi. Upo asasura, not asasura and the assassin amount. So be ye fu. It is agency asasura no be so. Say a year bunu and ebusa, and I ate him pay and I pass aseno. My ton assassin amount. If I were fu, never you be here. Why they can say those kind of umbiana? Anything can that be construed? Any man catch you say I contain mine in 30 years, Juma, and he has been consistent with it. And it was beyond that reasoning.
Okay.
Those construing say lawyers for Wontumi are led by then lawyer and the appeal could be. Or cast the lawyers of Wontumi council and Wontumi are no more the latter council at the last moment council attacking or let me attacking on also the show at the tail end no baby council. But said you who share the industry. Anyone that is talking, you know, Mumbisan is central for Mumbisan the question and they say, when you have the full record of proceedings of the trial, no, I vet the software, I peruse it, I go through step by step from page 1 to the last page to come to that conclusion.
So for instance, this is what your own colleague Awal Mohammed writes, and he says that from the one when Chairman Wontumi picked Andy Apia Kubi as his lawyer, some from Yoko stage, Andy was trying to ward off heavyweights like Godfred Odame, Gary Nimakon Marfo, who were there to voluntarily offer their support. This morning on Adom, lawyer Samson Ladi Ayenene gave the breakdown of the judgment. Samson's conclusion was simple. Wontumi's lawyers completely failed him during the cross-examination of Henry Inkum. Instead of leaving early, Andy waited until the judge was preparing her judgment to abandon Wontumi. Essentially, Andy led Wontumi straight to the slaughterhouse and ran away. Yet, just a few hours after Wontumi's incarceration, Andy quickly jumped back into the media space to claim that Wontumi had instructed him to file an appeal. Is this a calculated attempt to keep him behind bars? I am relieved that the leadership of the party is now organizing to take over the appeal this case. Wontumi is a political prisoner. Tomorrow is pregnant. This is coming from Awal Mohammed.
Record that you know Awal Mohammed, I want your opinion as every citizen of this country.
Sure, I agree.
And in a democracy, the ugliest noises are better than the barrel of the gun.
What's it?
Again, in a democracy, the ugliest noises are better than the barrel of the gun. And when I was here, Mobia, who quite not share nothing, a quite be a Nippon fish and Tiasi Muno or Yitumbia. Said you, you want to me, only the standing of the lawyer father. It was Wontumi who instructed and the appeal could be to prosecute this matter on his behalf. May you closer to Wontumi, perhaps. There have been several attempts. And like I said earlier, no, Obiani Hawa ne advocacy skill etie. Ye wo ye mo ye ni e den awde mu ye say ye kika. ye wo almost so omoda boko ye ra chachi kata oye lion ana. But everybody knows ye ra chachi kata for far as the practice of law are concerned. Oye boko nenso so no de onim no onim. Nentiase ye nentiase. And don't compare one lawyer skill to another lawyer skill. Oyensa emfa. Again, there will be a choice of legal representation. Anyhow, if we say nka enkono, but respectfully, and not to demean the standing of my brother Awa Muhammad. Onye lawyer no, Awa is coming from the layman's perspective. And you know, you better say at this point, at this stage, you know, those perspectives doesn't matter. What matters most, and it's a Jumano Abba, the first phase of the work has been concluded.
Okay.
Is there a way out? Yes, there is a way out. What are the preparations towards the second phase of the project? The leadership of the party has directed the party's legal team and the legal directorate to take over the appeal process. No? You say you so I handle cases so you members of the party's legal team. And you know a teamwork for us to put our arsenals together.
Okay.
Now you call to the appellate court. No?
Okay.
At the High Court, it was one judge sitting, and this is her decision.
Okay.
At the appellate court, there will be 3 justices sitting. A judge for me and a veteran. Ubi answer so was the near or the Beshe Jumedia court, so High Court. No, say Idimu and answer Indimu, say Empuso womb and answer Empuso womb. Yen ye be a Jumasa lawyer for. At the end of the day, no decision will be that of the court to deliver.
Okay, all right.
But I receive a woman say, "Enyinaso ewo second phase na ye konumu ye papa because you can't see dia say to me no na adanse ye inim."
Okay.
And nti ye wa receive say ye the first row court of appeal. Court of appeal no ebehwemu ye, and we are hopeful that a positive decision will be rendered.
Okay. Lawyer, you better senior disuane and niema wo de atujame update our their memory permanent bibi ne besa ba ona sibi ne no aba bedi nkomo ye da se pa.
E da ko jopra na dia mesa ka bi ni say a lawyer for na hika answer say no mo ye central fu no. Mo bi to no mo bisa o mo first question.
Okay.
And say o ma kind the entire record of proceedings no.
Okay.
Because even lawyers cry on record no. Now even the record of appeal no cry and compile the record of proceedings no plus all the evidence on record and you put it here you can boom emanaate the record of appeal the appellate court. It is called the appellate court now. Appellate court no a court of appeal no echo review proceedings across High Court no right from day 1 to the last day. Now omo the conclusion. The from day 1 and go see the last day now. Now far a 20th July. This is in no the Jinaso Kase said you or no any colleague, so any senior and or any junior at the bar. I'm body home or the not said you.
Okay.
Now a Kiasukatra. Maybe make a sana manuatra so
Okay, all right. Lawyer, yada sibi